Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are looking at a tool that promises to totally change how you work with AI. Think about a shift as big as the very first time you used a chatbot. Yeah, that's what we're talking about here. Okay, so for years, AI assistants have been, great conversation partners. They're awesome for brainstorming, helping you draft emails, answering really tough questions. But that's kind of where it stops, right? A new kind of AI is popping up. And this one, well, it doesn't just talk about the work, it actually does the work. We've all been there, haven't we? Your AI gives you this amazing, brilliant plan to organize all your messy files, but then you're the one who's still stuck with hours of tedious clicking and dragging. The AI suggests, but you do all the grunt work. It's frustrating. All right, so let's dive in and meet this new kind of AI coworker. We are officially moving from just talk to actually getting tasks done. And the tool that's causing this huge stir, it's called Claude Co-Work. So what is this thing really? Well, you got to think of Co-Work less like a chatbot and more like a junior teammate. You don't just talk at it, you actually delegate tasks to it. It works right inside a folder you pick on your computer, and it has the power to read, edit, and create files all by itself. And this table here, it makes the different roles crystal clear. You've got Claude Chat, which is basically your advisor. It shows you how to do stuff. Then there's Claude Code. That's for the developers. It builds things. But Co-Work? Co-Work is that missing piece for the rest of us. Its whole purpose is just to get it done. Okay, so how does this magic actually work? How does it go from just a simple goal you type in to a totally finished thing? It's not just about a prompt anymore. We're talking about a complete, hands-off, autonomous workflow. The whole process is this really simple four-step loop. First, you just give it a high-level goal, not a bunch of specific commands. Then Co-Work comes up with a detailed plan that you get to approve. Once you give it the green light, boom, it just executes that plan all on its own and saves the final file right back where it started. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. What about security? Well, this is absolutely crucial. Co-Work does all its work inside a totally secure, isolated sandbox on your computer. That means it can't see or touch anything, and I mean anything, outside the one specific folder you give it permission to use. Okay, so now that we get how it works, let's check out some of the truly mind-blowing things you can do with it. This is where the idea of getting rid of digital busywork forever really starts to feel real. Just take a second and think about the digital clutter we all have. You know what I'm talking about. That chaotic downloads folder, a desktop that's just covered in random screenshots, or that folder packed with blurry photos of receipts you need for an expense report. And that's exactly the feeling early users are talking about, that wow moment when they see it just clean up that digital mess. People are comparing it to that massive leap we all felt the first time we used ChatGPT. It seriously feels like we're on a whole new frontier. And the uses for this, they're super practical. Co-Work is just built for those high-effort, repetitive tasks that, let's be honest, nobody wants to do. Things like sorting messy folders, turning hundreds of receipt photos into a nice, clean spreadsheet, summarizing research from a dozen different PDFs, or even building a whole PowerPoint deck from a simple text file. But wait, what if you could do all that stuff without even being at your computer? Now, this is where it goes from just being useful to feeling like something straight out of science fiction. Let's talk about its dispatch feature, which is basically a remote control for your desktop. Just picture this. You're on the train, heading home, and suddenly you remember you need a report ready for the morning. So, what if you could just text your computer and have that report waiting for you the second you walk in the door? Well, that's exactly what this dispatch feature does. It creates this constant link between your phone and your desktop AI. It's kind of like having a direct walkie-talkie to your AI coworker. You can assign tasks from literally anywhere, and your computer back at home does all the heavy lifting. And get this, setting it up is so simple. It's that same QR code process we're all used to by now. You just open both apps, scan the code with your phone, and that's it. You're done. Your phone is now officially a remote control for your desktop AI. Okay, this all sounds pretty amazing, right? So let's get down to the practical stuff. How you can actually get Co-Work, what you're going to need, and what the plans look like. The requirements are really straightforward. You get access with any paid Claude subscription, so that's the Pro or Max plan. All you need is the desktop app, which works on Mac or Windows, and of course, an active internet connection on the computer you want it to run on. Access to Co-Work is included right in the standard Claude Pro plan, which starts at $20 a month. Now, if you think you're going to be a really heavy user, the Max plan is also an option, and that just gives you higher usage limits. Now, this is really important to remember. This is still a research preview. It's not the final polished product. And that means there are a few key limitations for now. For one, your desktop has to be on and awake for it to work remotely. It also doesn't sync tasks or remember anything from one session to the next. So you kind of have to think of each task as a brand new, fresh start. So look, this tech isn't just another new tool. It's really a new way of working. It's shifting AI from being just an assistant to being a true collaborator. And that leaves us with one last question to think about. If you could hand off one of your digital chores forever, what would be the very first thing you would delegate?